A handlebar that is extremely weirdly designed, rider focused, and also UCI legal. I mean, this is a handlebar that was super weird when I looked at it, and I even went for the soft launch of the handlebar. Some people tried it, some people liked it, some people found it a bit discomforting because of how narrow it was, but let's talk about it. Super small. I mean, considering to a normal handlebar, after riding this, I really feel like going back to a normal handlebar feels like I'm driving a lorry. Super wide, and comparing this, it's super small. People always say the fastest way to get fast on a bicycle is actually to change the rider's position. And the rider's position is actually the most important thing in terms of aero-ness, right? So, I mean, with so many upgrades that you can even buy outside, let me show you what's the latest upgrade that I got. As many of you all would know, there are 3 points of contact on your bike. Your first one being your handlebar, second one being the saddle, and the third one being your shoes, which is the contact with the pedals. These are the only 3 points that your body is actually contacting the bike. And so, having already changed my shoes, having already found a good saddle that can fit, why not let's change the handlebar? A few months back, I decided to create a video on the Ascent handlebar, which they actually invited me to go over to their launch. And let's talk about the handlebar today, but we're gonna be talking about certain things and the reason why I decided to change and what do I feel about it after changing compared to a normal handlebar. So the first thing that I'll be talking about is what were my initial impressions when I looked at it, and when I went for my first ride, how did it feel? The second thing that I'll talk about is why do I feel that it is actually better than a normal handlebar, and the third reason or the third thing that I'll be talking about is would I actually consider going back to a normal handlebar? The first thing, initially when I thought about it, the handlebars was so small. It's I think 30 or 32 from the hoods to hood, right? From the tops. So initially my head is, how the hell is this gonna fit me? I have to contort my body, do like some magic trick just to be able to fit on that handlebar. And with this thought, it kind of stopped me from getting the handlebar, or it stopped me from even trying to consider changing from a normal handlebar to something of this shape or of this size. Even this width alone is so super small. And to many other people, this narrowness or this width is actually catered to female riders. And I don't blame them for thinking that because this thing is really like super tiny. So as I said, I was super skeptical. I really didn't believe that the handlebar would actually work. And there were things that Ascent promised with the handlebar. I wouldn't really say promise, but more like they claim for it to be. And a few things that they said was comfort. Comfort was number one, and that was what a lot of the riders who were already using the handlebar said. They kept saying, oh, it's a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more comfortable. Maybe the handlebars really are just comfortable. Look at all the reviews. Comfort, comfort, comfort. Comfort should be something that would come with the handlebar. Second thing that they said was, I feel very aero. Numbers are increasing. Speed is increasing. A lot of things are increasing. Then I was thinking to myself like, wow, I got free wattage. Wow, I got free speed. Why not, right? I mean, technically not free, like you're paying for it, but like, wow, I can go faster, then I will no longer get dropped. I was like, okay lah, fine, why not, right? Might as well. But was it really that way? I mean, technically speaking, you should get free speed. Because why? Your body is essentially the biggest wind resistance that you have, right? And by contorting my body to something so small, it's almost as if you're riding a TT bike. And that would technically make you aero, especially when you can go low and you can go small. So yes, you will get free speed. What about the comfort? Did I really feel comfortable? And after talking to Qing Xiang, who is the founder of Ascent, I found out why people said it was more comfortable. And I found out why I actually did feel more comfortable. And let me explain this theory to you. May or may not make some sense to some people, but it's up to you to decide. And this was what Qing Xiang told me. Using a normal handlebar, your wrists are like this. It's straight. But when you use the Ascent handlebar, your wrist is kind of tilted in. And just raising your hands up, your hands are naturally this way. You don't bring your hands up like this. And it's super strenuous on your shoulders, on your neck, on your triceps, and whatever other nonsense muscles you have. Try it out. I genuinely feel like if I raise my hands up this way, it's a lot easier than if I force my hands to raise up this way. Because I feel a lot of tension here, and I feel a lot of tension here. But I'm not a doctor, right? So it's just my own personal feeling. And I think that's the reason why I felt a lot more comfortable on this handlebar as compared to a normal standard road bike handlebar. Technically it makes sense because your hands are naturally curved. it's not straight. You're forcing it to be straight. So having this ergonomical change is actually better for my hands and my wrists and my shoulders and my neck. So it has been working for me for a while now. I've been using it for almost 2-3 months now, I think. And I like it. It's actually quite nice. It's on my bike. It's right there. The handlebar is honestly a super sleek design with a natural flare out of the handlebar. And the shifter just tilts in. So over here, I think this is the best way you can see the shape of the handlebar. You can see that there's a flare out and the bottom is actually wider than the top because of that flare. With a handlebar that's shaped like a W, and it's also made out of carbon and a 2-piece handlebar, which gives you like some options for you to just play with your stem length. I think it's a really nice handlebar to have. And it also goes against the norms of having that normal 1-piece handlebar that everybody is having now because of integration. Now, just a disclaimer, so everything that I have said in the video so far is obviously based off my own personal experience of the handlebar. Now, Ascent has not made me say anything, and they have also not forced me to say anything or like paid. I'm not paid to say good things about their handlebar. So giving the handlebar a proper testing, going through like really super bumpy roads and even cornering descents at a bit scary speeds to me, I think I'm able to have a bit more confidence with the bar. And I definitely have tried going back to the normal size 40 handlebars, which is what I was originally on, and it definitely felt a lot weirder. Even after 1 to 2 weeks of using that size 40 handlebar, I felt that it was super weird. I really felt like I was driving a lorry. And going back to my going back to the Ascent bar definitely felt a lot more comfier and a lot more sense of security, I would say. So although I am trying to review the Ascent handlebar, and I do have majority good things to say about the bar, do take everything with a pinch of salt, because all these is my own personal feelings, in a sense, my own personal perspective of the bar, and you might not actually agree with me, and that's your problem, but it is actually what I feel about the bar and what I genuinely think that is good about it. So it's really very personal, I guess. And honestly, it's a very good conversation starter. Like, you have such an interesting handlebar on your bike, people will just come to you and they will be like, hey, so narrow, not irritating, man, like not uncomfortable. And I think so far, anybody who has asked me this question, I have all told them like, no, I actually think it's quite comfortable. I actually quite like it. And people who have tried it on my bike, they also like super surprised because it does not feel as narrow as it seems. And that's the biggest like wow factor to me, honestly. There is a problem with like putting on bar tape and stuff, but after a while you get used to it and it's okay. So I guess overall, from my perspective and my point of view, the bar is amazing. And we're so used to seeing that normal handlebar, and we finally have a change. Now, people always say don't fix something that isn't broken, but I mean, sometimes change is also good. So let me know what you think about the handlebar. Don't forget to go and subscribe, and hopefully the new video gonna come up soon.